Hello everyone, JL Wasabi here. In the next few minutes, I will be teaching you how to play Executioner in set 14. Executioner is essentially the same as ambushes from last set, but has an added effect of increasing the bonus critical strike damage against targets lower than 30% health. Even though this may seem like it is better than ambushes, I will explain very soon why this is not the case. In the same fashion, Executioner's comp is mainly a level 7 reroll comp. This is even more so than ambushes since the unit quality is higher this time round, with 2 3-cost units in Rengar and Varus, and no 1-cost unit. Hence, the aim would be to 3-star your main carries that are Rengar and Varus. However, this is usually not sufficient to top 4. You will need to activate your last trait breakpoint of 5 Executioners, as it provides all Executioners with 15% durability. This may not seem huge, but this is absolutely important for the comp's survivability in late game fights, where they are prone to getting one-shot by other comps. But this is easier said than done, since this is being locked behind a 5-cost unit, Urgot. The reason why I had previously mentioned that Executioners may not be as good as ambushes from last set stems from the fact that while many of the units, Rengar, Varus, Graves, have backline access, it does not consistently or reliably target the backline units. Smidge from last set will target the furthest unit within 4 hexes with the least items and often leads him to a backline unit since they are usually further away. Rengar, however, leads to the lowest health unit within 2 hexes, often making it target tanks at combat start. While the skill cast range increases by 1 hex every time, the delay is costly if it is unable to take out key backline units early. Graves and Varus also has backline targeting that are unreliable and sometimes can leave them at low health instead of finishing them off. Despite all this, it is still a strong comp given limited backline access in set 14, and that this comp plays around a strong trinity of carries in Rengar, Varus, and Graves if you can 3-star them. So for your early game in stage 1 and 2, you should look to play Executioner Reroll if you are in a good spot for it, such as having a Street Demon or Golden Ox opener. If you are offered an Executioner emblem, it is a no-brainer since this means that you will not require Urgot and will be infinitely easier to reach the very necessary 5 Executioner threshold. You are also looking for bruiser item drops like Bloodthirster, Titan's Resolve, and Hand of Justice. At level 5 or even level 4 if possible, activate traits like Golden Ox in order to get ready to stack the Fortune Tree for Graves damage amp, as well as to activate Street Demon to see the hex arrangements in order to plan around your positioning. It can be slightly tricky to position given that the signature hexes can give Rengar triple the stat bonuses, but do not force it if it puts you in a disadvantageous position by exposing Rengar too much. Arriving in the mid-game for stage 3, you should look to go to level 6 and add in more strategies since it can provide you with more durability to your frontline units and damage amp to your backline units. Try to prioritize forming 3 bruiser items for your carry as soon as possible in order to stabilize and prepare for the reroll. At level 7, roll for Rengar 2-star and Varus 2-star in order to stabilize your comp. You can also replace Alistar with Jarvan to keep the Golden Ox in your comp. Priority is to 2-star your Rengar. Any excess items from now on can be for Varus or Graves, depending on which unit is dealing more damage. For stage 4 this time, we do not go to level 8 since this is a reroll comp. For 3-cost reroll, stay at level 7 and roll above 50 gold in order to collect Rengar and Varus to 3-star them. If you find many copies of Graves as well, you can 3-star Graves too, as he is a very strong unit. This comp rerolls at level 7 instead of level 6, as we require some 4-cost units like Nico and Vex for higher trait breakpoints of Executioner and Strategist. If you are lucky, you may even find Urgot during your rolldown. This board typically caps at level 8 instead of the usual level 9 or 10, as a lot of gold needs to be spent in order to upgrade your units to 3-star. However, if you are able to reach level 9 safely, do so to cap out even higher. Do remember to level and roll while stacking the golden ox at the same time, especially if your Graves is 3-star and fully itemized. By stage 5-2, you should ideally 3-star your Rengar and Varus. Else, you should be donkey rolling after that, which means rolling down to 0 gold every turn to find your 3-star Rengar and Varus, with priority for Rengar. Thereafter, go to level 8 to add in Urgot. You will need to reach this point in order to safely top 4, as adding in Urgot provides you with the extra durability and survivability from 5 Executioners. This is on top of the durability already given by strategists in your comp. This is essential in surviving late game fights and prevent your Rengar and Graves from being bursted down by any enemy carries. Because of that, Executioner Emblem is the best in slot for this comp. You can obtain it either from Augments, Carousel, or form it with a glove and a pen. Last but not least are the Augments you can take for this comp. Obviously, you can go for Executioner Emblem, as we previously talked about how it allows you to reach 5 Executioners without needing Urgot, which is a huge deal since you typically do not want this to be an Urgot check, since it will be too reliant on having high rolls. Alternatively, you can have Strategist Emblem since it increases durability of your units. This works as an alternative to the 5 Executioners durability. But you should not play this comp if you get a Strategist Emblem first augment, but rather as like a third or even second augment in your game. Cut Purse is an Executioner specific augment for set 14 and gives your Executioner units a chance to drop gold when their attacks critically strike. This can help you to econ a lot faster in the early game if you are lucky and hit your power spike even earlier. But more importantly, it provides you with a Rengar and Graves in stage 2, and you can aim to win streak of them. Artifact augments like Portable Forge and Living Forge are also good since this comp can spike really hard with their best in slot artifacts such as Prowler's Claw and Death's Defiance. Reroll augments such as Rigged Shop can help with reaching your 3-star 3-cost units easier, as well as Prismatic Ticket and Pandora's Bench. Combat augments in general are always good for this comp to help in their survivability and damage so that they can finish off the key backline targets before they die. Last but not least is the Prismatic Double Trouble that I believe is being offered as a black market augment sometimes. If you are offered that, you can play a pure Executioner's comp with 2 Rengar, 2 Varus, and 2 Graves with Vex and Urgot. While it is not easy to 3-star your Rengar, Varus, and Graves, it is the super high cap version of this comp since it provides a load of stats for your units. You are absolutely awesome if you have reached the end of this guide, and I hope that you have learned something from this video. If you find this video useful, I greatly appreciate if you can like the video and subscribe to my channel for more guides and gameplay videos. See you again. Bye bye.